Let's get it, baby.
What's up, everybody? This is Jack Posey.
Marshall.
And this is the Accountability Call.
Hey, Jack, what episode is this?
Episode number 6.
Oh, yeah.
On the first week of episodes in the books.
Let's go.
It's a call. It's been a cool, interesting, fun experience. I know Ahmad and I are loving this. And even though we only got 20 of y'all out there watching, we appreciate it. Follow
every
us
last one of y'all, for sure.
We really appreciate it. Follow us on our Instagram, _accountability_call, for more content, little deeper look inside of our lives. And also, if you guys want to know when our next episodes are coming out, we post that to our stories. So to keep up with us, follow us again on Instagram at _accountability_call.
Yes, sir. Let's go. What we got for today, Jack? So
today's episode 6, we're back on our normal track. In the beginning of the week, we introduced what our 3-2-1s were to you guys. And today, it's Saturday, it's the end of the week. We're going to revisit our 3-2-1s, let you know how they went, let you know what we accomplished, what we didn't accomplish, and just kind of the process behind it. So after we go into our 3-2-1 and talk about that whole goal setting, goal achieving process, Ahmad and I are going to talk to you guys about how to deal with worry and stress before and after a certain event or stressor that comes into your life. And then we'll finish our day off with our PS quotes, our Posey Shot quotes. But before we get to that, let us reintroduce ourselves for any new listeners and anybody who wants to get to know us a little bit more. We'll start with my guy, Ahmad.
Hey, so my name is Ahmad Shaw, sophomore here at St. Vincent College. I play football. I'm a corner, aka I'm a DB. Say that, jack of all trades. I'm a DB. Engineering major. I'm a prefect in the freshman dorm. So prefect for us is just an RA. So I watch over about 17 to 18 guys at a time, just check in on them, see how they're doing, and see if I can help them in any way. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Pass it back to Jack.
Yep. So I'm Jack Posey. I'm a sophomore at Penn State. I play in the men's lacrosse team, and I'm a defender. I am an aspiring business major, and I'm super psyched and super ready to go for today. So we'll get started with our 3-2-1 week review. We're going to start with Ahmad, and he's going to tell us what he accomplished, what he struggled with, what he excelled with, and we're just going to go through his whole week. So quick recap.
3-2-1 for this week. My word for the week was push. Push because, I was finally kind of getting back into the routine, and I know it's not always easy to get back into the routine. So that's why I decided to make it my week of the word, or my word of the week. Well, I said that backwards. That's why I made a push. So my first 3, my first goal, core and control 5 times a week, hit that every day. My second 3, shoulder work twice a day, every day, hit that every day. Third goal, read every night, did that every night. And it wasn't, so the third one, like I said, it's always the hardest. The reading every night is always the hardest for me. So I read every night, but it was not always the same time. Sometimes it would be 10 minutes. Other times it'd be 30 minutes. So regardless, I got reading in every night. My 2 habits, wash my face with the African soap twice a day. Did that. 5 a.m. yoga. There were some days where it was kind of hard to roll out of bed, but I got out of bed and I got those done, got those accomplished. And then my 1 for 1, studying a consistent place. Trusty desk has been my friend, my newfound friend. So I got everything done for this week. It was a solid week. I feel like I got better, no question about it. So yeah.
You knocked everything off. You hit everything. You got it all done. I know you mentioned getting out of bed sometimes in the morning was a little hard, but were there any challenges or any unforeseen or anything you weren't expecting to kind of be difficult for you that came up during the week?
I would say the hardest thing, I'm not super unexpected, but kind of like neglected in my brain, was like turning that phone off at 9:30 every night. That was the hardest thing, right? It would be nice where, I want to stay up a little bit longer and text my friends, or it'd be nice where I just want to scroll through Instagram. And I'm not gonna lie, that did happen, but I only allowed it to happen if I was in bed. Right. So that was my big thing was like, okay, if I'm gonna stay up later, I'm gonna be in bed and I'm gonna get my reading first before I'm staying up later, right? And so every night, I was in that bed at 9:30. I wasn't exactly asleep at 9:30, but I was in that bed. So that was the biggest kind of challenge for me this week. So
Yeah, that's a great point. I think something that's important to hear, and I think shows a lot of maturity and growth for you is before you would hop on your phone, like you said, in bed, which a lot of people do. I try to avoid it. It used to be me literally from like the second I got my phone, I was allowed to have it in my room until like I started actually trying to get some good sleep. I'd be on my phone for a long time, like you said, like text my friends, Snapchat, and doing whatever, scrolling Instagram, and Twitter. But I think the really cool thing you said was you got your reading done, you got in bed, you checked off all the things you had to do for the day, and then you hopped on your phone.
yeah.
It was like you wouldn't let yourself go on your phone until you got everything you needed to do done. Yeah. And I think it shows really good like self-control.
Appreciate it.
And it shows a lot of growth.
I appreciate that, bro.
It's easy to text your buddies or hop on whatever social media you want to when it's late at night and it doesn't really matter. Like you're like done for the day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's really a lot of people might not think it, but I know it's not easy. I know it's not necessarily like something you want to do, but it's something I appreciate. So
and mind you, yesterday was Friday, right? So imagine telling your friends, hey, it's 9:30 at night, I'm going to sleep. They're all texting me like, what? Like, you going to sleep? It's 9:30. Like, but I had to tell them, like, hey, no, it's my bedtime. And I said it just like that. It's my bedtime. I'm going to sleep. Turn my phone off. Well, I ain't turn my phone off. I ain't text them. I might have watched like a video or two, but then I was look. I was out. My phone was off before 10 o'clock. Okay, that's all. My phone was off before 10 o'clock.
And you know what? That's time for you to reflect, but you're also just kind of built different. You know what I mean? Everybody else staying up late on a Friday night, you're built different. That's what it comes down to.
Appreciate it.
And hey, you all can be too. You just gotta follow that schedule, follow the steps you need to get to your dreams and the steps you need to get to your goals. So
no question. You can do it. So
that's awesome, man. I'm happy for you.
Appreciate it. Let's hear about your 3, 2, 1. Let's see what's going on.
All right. So my 3, 2, 1 wasn't. Yeah, you got it written down. My 3, 2, 1. My week was successful.
Yeah.
Look at my 3, 2, 1 though. I didn't knock everything off, and I'll go into it in a second. But I did try my best to get everything done, and it is Saturday. I do have some time later in the evening, so I'm definitely gonna get some things done. But my accounting extra credit in my textbook, I got the extra credit, didn't get to the textbook, so about half and half.
Okay.
My 5 summaries and 5 chapters of my book. Be honest with you guys, I got 2 chapters done, 2 summaries done, and like I said, I still have some time this evening to get some things done. I still have all day tomorrow before we catch back up on Monday, make our next 3, 2, 1s. So the goal is to get at least 4 and 4. At least 4 and 4, aiming for that 5 and 5.
Can I ask a question, Jack?
Let's hear it.
Is 1 better than 0? Or is 1 more than 0?
I would say so, yes.
Is 2 more than 1?
I think so.
Okay, so you good then, bro. It's all about the growth, right? It's all about you took a step. Right. It might not have been the biggest step that you wanted this week, but you most definitely took a step, and you most definitely still have time in this week. Right.
Love that. Yeah.
Right. Of course. Stay on that. You're almost there.
Thank you for reminding me.
No question.
Well, continuing, that's also a great point. Even though sometimes we make these big goals, sometimes we make goals that seem hard to achieve. Or, I mean, like, look, we're both student athletes, full-time athlete, full-time student, and we're trying to add all this extra stuff in. So it's not always easy to get this stuff done. But like Ahmad said, like if you have a 1 day or a 2 day, where you do at least 1 or 2 different things, it's better than a 0 day than just kind of going through the motions, right? And not progressing, not taking any steps forward. So
no 0 days.
That's a great lesson.
Coach Ron.
Yeah, Coach Ron, let's go.
Yeah.
But moving on, my last goal was probably my most rewarding one and brought the biggest smile to me, made my week. I reached out to all 3 sets of my grandparents. It was a great time. It was awesome catching up with all of them. I really recommend that, Ahmad, you do it. All you viewers, you do it as well. Reach out to your grandparents. They love to hear from you. They want to know what's going on with your life. And if any of you guys are listening, love you all. You're the best. But yeah, so that was
Shout out
awesome.
to grandparents, bro. Shout out to Jack's grandparents.
Yeah, they're awesome. I really look up to them.
Yeah.
So moving on to my habits, core control in the morning, 5 times, hit that. Did it every morning. It was great. One time I did it in the evening. That's okay. I got it done. The next thing, stretch for an hour every day. Accomplished. Let me see. There we go. That's better. All right. Nightlight. No, I'm just kidding.
Nightlight. Okay.
The last one, which is something that I continue to need to work on. It's something that I haven't mastered yet, but it's going to bed by 10:50, by 11 o'clock, just being in bed and being asleep early. And now Ahmad, he said he was trying to go to bed by 9:30. For me, it's 11. We have different schedules, right? For me, I used to stay up until 1 o'clock. So 2 hours back, 11. That's early for what it's been for me. I'm trying to get to Ahmad's level. I'm not there yet, but
hey, it's tough, bro. I tell you, it's tough.
I envy your sleep, bro. Literally.
Great.
But I got 3 out of the 5 nights I got to bed by 10:50. And one night I had schoolwork. One night I had friends over. But I was hanging out with my roommates, and I was like, you know what? That's fine. You know, my teammates came over. I was hanging with my roommates. They were all over. You know what? I knew throughout the week I had so much going on. I just needed to relax, step out, and just hang out with my boys. And it was definitely needed to continue on my week, because like you can't keep your foot all the way down on that pedal and expect to drive, you know, thousands of miles. You gotta brake, you gotta get some gas, you gotta stop. And even though, you know, I pushed my going to bed, a little bit back, just hanging out and relaxing was something I really needed. So yeah, that was my 3-2-1. I didn't accomplish everything. I took good steps in the right direction, and like Ahmad said, I had no 0 days, so that's all that matters.
Yes, sir. Big time. So now we got that done. We got a nice juicy topic for y'all. Real quick. So Jack, tell me this. How do you deal with stress and worry? How do you do it, bro?
I wish I had a secret answer, but I do.
Yeah. Okay.
I do have the answer for you. At least I have the answer for me and what works for me. And I'm going to share that with you. I'm going to share that with all of you guys. And for me, something
Hold on. I'm sorry. You are a student athlete, right?
Yeah, some would say.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Go ahead, keep going.
Yes, I'm a student athlete. I play in the men's lacrosse team here at Penn State. I'm hopefully going to be a finance major. I'm going into the business school. And if anybody knows anything about that, it's not easy classes. I'm not saying other majors are, but the degree I'm trying to go to is not easy to get in. It's not easy to succeed in. So a lot of things come up on my plate with school, with sport, with life. And a lot of things can cause worry beforehand and stress beforehand. That's something I want to talk with you guys about. And I just want to hear your points on it too, Ahmad, because before like a big test, or like, let's say you have a week and you got, you know, let's say four or five practices that week, you got 3 or 4 lifts, you got to watch film, you got to, you know, go to class, you got to study, you have 2 exams that week, a paper due. Like there's all this stuff that kind of comes up like that's a week. Like that's happened before.
Yeah.
And it can be stressful, and it can be really worrisome. And a lot of times the worry we put is on ourselves. Like the worry we get is on ourselves. And it's because we try to compare ourselves to other people, or you know, our families, or you know, the expectations of other people have on us. And I think for me, when I'm ever dealt these scenarios or these situations where it's high pressure, I have a lot of people looking at me to succeed and excel, the biggest thing that works for me is I kind of have to step back and realize, okay, like if I have 2 tests a week and a paper due, and I got to perform well at practice, and I have to bring energy, and I have to lift well, and you know, continue to do all this kind of stuff. Oh, and by the way, I got to stretch, eat right, drink water.
Yeah.
all this stuff gets really, really heavy on your shoulders, right? And really heavy on your mental. And the thing that works for me is like you said in the last episode, I stopped caring about what other people think.
Yes, sir.
Because caring is important, but when it comes to caring about other people's opinions and thoughts on you, no, like not at all. Like that, you don't have time for that when you have all these different distractions and these different stressors and these things that you need to put your time and effort into. So I zone out what all these people, all these opinions and all these things I think people are expecting of me.
Mm-hmm.
I realize, okay, what do I have to get done? What's important right now to do? And how am I going to go about it? So let's just say, like I said, 2 exams, paper due, and I got to practice. Okay. And I have lifts in the morning, by the way, so I can't stay up late. On that Monday or that Sunday or that week, before I get started, like our 3-2-1s, I'm going to plan out what I want to do, what I need to get done so I can be successful through the week. And if that's a certain time when everyone's hanging out, I know I need to study, or I know I need to, write that paper, finish it, and edit it. Okay, I'm not hanging out with all my friends, but guess what? That's not my path, right? My path is to accomplish all the things I need to get done so I can play well at practice.
Mm-hmm.
And if I need to, step away while everyone else is having a good time, a lot of people sometimes, and this has happened to me too, we kind of push some priorities to the side because, you don't want to miss out. You want to hang out with everybody. You want to have a good time. But it's kind of realizing, hey, what's important? Like, what do I need to do? And usually everybody kind of knows what they need to do, and you know how to get it done. It's just applying yourself and pushing yourself, like Ahmad's word of the week, to get it done, right? Yeah. So for me, whenever I have a lot of challenges that bring worry and stress, I step back, I prioritize, I make a plan, and I execute. So
yes, sir.
We'll go through one more time. Step back.
Yeah.
Pull your emotions. You don't need them. Think logically for a little bit. Prioritize.
Yeah. Okay.
Make your plan of attack. Execute.
Let's do it.
Making sure worry and stress don't play a factor in your life. It works for me. I hope it works for you. It's not guaranteed. And like we kind of mentioned a couple episodes ago, when we say we hope it works, but if it doesn't, try it. Okay, it doesn't work, throw it out. Try something else, right? If nothing changes, I'm sorry, that's not the way it goes. Nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So if you want your life to change, if you want your stress to go away, you got to try something else. You got to change it up, because if you keep doing the same routine you're in, nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
So that's how I deal with my stress before I have an event, before I have, assignments that need to be done, before I have a whole week that's busy. Now I'll throw it over to you, Ahmad. Let's hear your. I'm really excited to hear what you got to say about this.
So for me, a big part of I do my best not to stress, right? And so how do I do that? I know what my stressors are, right? I know how I can avoid them, right? So what is that? What do those two mean? So knowing what your stressors are. Like if you know you got 3 tests this week, let's be realistic. 2 tests, like a paper, and let's say a football game, right? Within 1 week, right? So what do I do so that I'm not all stressed up? First things first, you cannot procrastinate, right? You cannot do that. Just going into the week, that's got to be in the forefront of your mind. You cannot procrastinate, because
Say it again.
Procrastinate, right? Because that due date is not gonna move. You're gonna get closer and closer to that due date. You better have it done, right? So for me, how I figure out my stressors is what causes me to get all frailed up or frizzed up and be like, okay, what will take me almost to a breaking point, right? And then how can I stay away from that, right? So it would be, let me get this done early. And let me have this hour block to myself till I can chill right before maybe it's due. And I can just, it's been done. I did it 3 days ago. You know what I mean?
Mike.
Yeah. So that's kind of how do you know what stresses you? You have to, I think personally, you have to take some time and understand what always happens before you feel stress. right? And there's always going to be some sort of key, depending on whether it's you, me, or the viewers. There's going to be some sort of key, and you have to pick up on that. And once you pick up on that, that's the first step, right? Now, the second step is, how do you stay away from that, right? How can you avoid that situation, that scenario, right? And so for me, like I said, if I know what's going to happen, okay, I'm going to prepare for that before it happens, right? But let's say, it just sprung on you. You have no idea. Like, you get a phone call and be like, hey, this is due right now. Okay, so how do you deal with that, right? Like, it's due right now and you're working on a paper too, right? How do you handle that? How do you handle that stress, right? Well, for me, it's this, right? Or let's say you got a test, right? It's this, right? Regardless, once you take that test, your grade is your grade and you cannot change that grade, right? So let's try and not stress over the test after the fact, but not stress before either. So in order, let's take that energy that we would spend stressing on that test, take that energy, flip it upside down, spin it around, and put that energy in the studying for that test, right? Because I know, like, all the viewers, there's been a time where, like, you've gone into a test unprepared and you've gone into a test prepared, and there's a difference, right? There's a huge difference. You go into that test, boop, 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 first one done. You go into that test unprepared, you're like, I don't know. You over there looking at your friend like, I don't know, right? And trust me, it's happened to me. It's happened to me multiple times, right? But in order for me to get away from that worry after the fact that I hand the test to the teacher, now the teacher, I'm waiting for the teacher to grade the test. I gotta study beforehand, right? And I feel like that's kind of how I stay away from the stress. Right? I take that energy that I would normally use on stressing, I take it and I turn it into something productive and something good, and that's what I do. So the two things are identifying what stresses you and then figuring out how you can stay away from that, right? And doing whatever it takes to do that. So, because at the end of the day, stress for me, and this is my humble opinion, stress doesn't do anything. Like, it doesn't. It only does, no, that's a lie. It doesn't bring you any good, right? It only takes you down and it takes you out of focus, right? So let's just get rid of it altogether. Let's try not to stress.
Unnecessary stress.
Exactly.
Sometimes you need the stress of a coach yelling at you. You need the stress of a deadline to really kick you up and to really kind of bring you up to your A game. But to your point, the stressors that aren't helping, right?
Yeah.
Like there's stress that helps us in life and there's stress that doesn't. And the stress we don't need, it only gets worse if we compound it, right?
Yeah.
But to your point, I've been in a test where, you look at question number one, you look around the room, you're like,
it's that first question too. That's how you know on the test, you say that first question.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, no question. So,
but to Ahmad's point, I want to say this real quick. A lot of everyone's been through a test, and afterwards you're like, oh my God, that was awful. I need to find what the grade is. Like, I was so bad. I can't believe that. So once you get that stress, like it's human to go through that. It's human to be like, to have that feeling because we all want to succeed. But to sulk in that and to carry that on over multiple days is taking away from the energy you could put into studying for your next test.
Exactly.
So when you feel that, right, when you feel that stress that's kind of prolonging, one thing you can do is, and this goes with sport, this goes with, work, whatever, anything in life that's causing you stress, work to get better at it. If you didn't do well on that test and you're stressing about, how, let's say, poorly you did, put that energy into studying for the next one. You weren't as conditioned, you weren't as ready to go for practice. You go through practice and you're breathing heavy the whole time. You're like, oh my gosh, like that was
my inhaler type. I need my inhaler. Woo!
That's when, instead of being like, man, like I'm so out of shape, like go get in shape, go for a run, go do something that's going to be productive rather than sitting there and just worrying, right? And stressing about, man, when's the next run test? Or, man, like I hope we don't condition next practice. Like if you're in shape, you shouldn't worry or not whether or not you have conditioning. Now, sports are all different, whatever, but I play lacrosse, so we do a lot of running. Yeah. Regardless, we hope we helped you with our the way we deal with worry and stress before a situation happens, and then how to respond after a situation happens. So again, if you guys have any questions, want to tell us how you guys respond to stress and worry, drop it in the comments. It's also really awesome for us to hear some things from you guys too, because these conversations help us, and conversations about, really anything around this topic is helpful, because like we said, if something works for you guys, something works for Ahmad, or something works for me, we share it. And let's say something that works for me works for Ahmad, that might be life-changing for him.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work for him, then guess what? Throws it to the side, tries something else, finds something else was life-changing for him. So I appreciate you sharing your stuff, Ahmad. I'm always happy to share things from me. But that's our take on worry and stress. And today we're going to wrap up episode 6 with our PS quotes, our Posey shot quotes. And mine, I'll start off. It has something directly to do with what we've been talking about, worry and stress. And it's when you're worried about what other people are going to think, and you're worried, if I do this, is this person going to have X reaction, or are these people going to look at me this way? All I want to say to you guys is, if you don't try, you'll miss out. If there's something you want to do, there's something you've always wanted to be passionate about, and you never try to do it, you're going to regret and you're going to miss out on it. Mm-hmm. So even if it's starting a podcast, writing a book, I don't know, start streaming video games or something. I don't even know, right? Anything that you want to do, just try it. And if you don't want to do it after that, then you can say you tried.
No question.
Come on, what you got?
My PS quote to end it off. First thing I want to say, I hope y'all have a great weekend. Right? We'll be back with y'all Monday. But to end it off, control the controllables. Right? Control the controllables. Right? Like I said with the whole test, once you take that test and you turn it in, that's it. There's nothing you can do about it at that point. But what you can control is how hard you study. What you can't control is how hard you work before the game. What you can control is how much sleep you get. Here, depending. Okay, that was depending, but you get the understanding.
We try our best to get as much sleep as we can.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I gotta say. Control the controllables. Don't think too much about what other people think, and just keep on pushing. So
love that. Control the controllables. And if you don't try, you'll miss out. Those are our PS quotes for episode 6. This has been an awesome week. We appreciate everybody who's been supporting us, who subscribed, who's followed us on the Instagram. Again, our Instagram is _accountability_call. Follow us. Keep along with our most recent posts, our most recent 3-2-1s, and a couple things coming up that we'll keep a secret until we get them out there. But we have some cool things coming for you guys. And again, I just want to say thank you. We appreciate all your support. And again, my name is Jack Posey.
Ahmad Shaw.
And this is the Accountability Call.
We out, baby. Woo!
Have a great weekend.
See y'all.